We inaugurated our Impact Lecture Series 2021 in morning, day 2 session, and it was a profound session with 500 plus enthusiastic participants. I now specially welcome our today's guest speaker, Dr. Ishrat Meera Mirzana, our faculty coordinators, and all the participants present here. We have another speaker now for day 2 second session, Dr. Ishrat Meera Mirzana. Ma'am is having more than 19 years of teaching experience and have published 20 textbooks in the area of mechanical and computer science engineering. Ma'am has also published 3 patents and many international and national journal and conference papers. She is the convener of R&D Cell MJCET. She is also a NAC core committee member of MJCET. Ma'am have also guided many undergraduate and graduate projects related to the field of mechanical engineering. Ma'am has many achievements to add up. Now I request ma'am to begin with the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Um, I think this impact series is focusing more on IPR. So I think you had an awareness about what exactly an IPR is. IPR stands for your intellectual property rights. So before going for it, what should be when we are talking about an IPR or anything, why is it important either for the faculty or the students? So we need to have a strategy where as professionals, it's important that we have a growth strategy. So with respect to it, when we are talking about a growth strategy for the faculty, it starts with a teaching learning process. As everybody know that AICT has come up with the outcome based education, or you can see that we are going for CBCS, that is choice based education system, which is a student centric process. So it's a teaching learning process. We have to come up with new pedagogy tools and everything. So that is a first and foremost duty for any faculty. After this, the next stage is once you come up with your own innovative pedagogy teaching methodology, the next stage is come up with the research. So for the research, the faculty should have a critical thinking and design thinking concepts being incorporated. And once they carry out a research, and this is the platform wherein they can guide the undergraduates, postgraduates, or their PhD, BA supervisor also. So with respect to it, once they carry out this critical thinking and design thinking, based upon the work that is being executed, you can go for the publications. Publications is a must for a faculty. So based upon the publications, uh, as a researcher, you qualify for it. So how is it that you make an impact as an academician? Your teaching learning is you get a feedback from the students regarding your teaching learning process. But what is that will show that you are a researcher? That is indicated with your publications. How is it indicated with the publications? With your impact, the H index. Okay, so for that H index and everything, you should have innovative and good research work. That's the reason you have to go for high impact journal publications. And when we talk about publications, it's not just about publishing in your UGC CATE journals. When we are publishing, you have to see that whatever publication of a journal is coming, it should be in Q1 and Q2. There are 4 quartiles in which you can do your publications: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Q4 is for the beginners. For the students, they can go for such journal publications. But for the faculty who are at the assistant professor level, they can go for the Q3. But for the associate and professors, it's important that they go for publication in the journals which are of Q1 and Q2 quartile. So based on that, once they have their profile being made up, the next thing is they have to go for an IPR. Because as per the NEP, the new National Education Policy 2020, the higher education centers have to change into your research centers, and at the same time, there should be an economy generation. So it's not that we'll be just drawing the salary, but we have to also generate income or economy for the our institution. So that is possible with your IPR. IPR means we can have the patents or copyrights. So for that one, there should be a uniqueness, novelty in the work that we do. Once we have all this profile being built up, then only we'll be going with the, or we can get some externally funded projects either from the government or non-government agencies. So this is how a growth strategy should be planned for a faculty. In case, because I don't know how, what is the range of attendees, are there only students or faculty? That's the reason I've planned for a growth strategy for both faculty as well as students. Coming to the growth strategy,
Ma'am, please check whether you are unmuted or no, ma'am. Your sound is not there, ma'am. Ishrat ma'am. Ishrat ma'am. I think you lost the connection. Ishrat ma'am lost the connection, I think. 1 minute, I will check. Hello?
Hello, am I audible now?
No, ma'am, I think your PPT is lost, your connection. And we cannot see your PPT also and your sound also. I think you lost connection. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Please wait. Ma'am is again rejoining. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Now I could see your face. So you again share, ma'am. Ma'am, please unmute. Ishrat, ma'am, please unmute.
it's
Yes, yes. Now,
yeah,
now,
yeah,
please share
I'm
again.
sharing once again. Is it visible, ma'am? Slideshow?
Yes, ma'am. Now you have to keep on the slides. Yes, now. Yes, you can
Is
proceed,
it
ma'am.
fine?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Growth strategy for students. Yes, continue.
Yes. So for the students, other than academics, they have to go with internships, because internships are the one which provide them the exposure as to how the real world is all about. Okay, they'll able to identify the real time problems. They can come up with as per the real time problems. Once they have a problem definition, they can come up with the n number of alternate solutions. So this n number of alternate solutions is the one which give them the scope for research. Based on that research, they can execute projects. When we say for the students need not do and only focus upon major projects, it's better for your profile that you come up with many mini projects also, or the real time solutions if you have it. That is how we'll make up your profile. Once you come up with your projects, you, if you have an innovative idea or if you have done proper research, you can go for an IPR. Once you have an IPR, you can become entrepreneurs by having your own startups. So this is how the growth strategy for the students can be planned. Coming to the difference, understanding the difference between creativity, innovation, and invention. When you see the picture, do you observe anything in the picture? Ma'am, can I see the chat? Is it feasible to see the chat here?
Chat, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I think I have to come and switch over the. Okay, what do you see in the picture?
No, ma'am. Now again it went up. Picture. It was there. It was visual. Chat. Yes, chat.
Okay. Because I'm not able to see
Chat.
the chat window once I'm keeping this in slideshow. In the
Yes,
picture, do
yes.
you observe anything? You can post your answers in the chat window.
Yes, I can read for you. Participant, you can post your answer in chat box. I can read.
Is there any response, ma'am?
Yes. Tree of freedom fighters. Then a tree, freedom fighter and tree.
Okay. So you can see that if we see just the picture, if I take it from an artistic point of view, you can see that it is a creativity. It's not just about the tree. You can see one freedom fighters. You can see there are around 8 to 9 freedom fighter pictures that are depicted in this one tree picture. So all this indicates the creativity. Creativity is nothing but the art of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. Okay, so whatever your imagination of a tree is there, you are trying to convert into some creative idea. So this is just in a general example. Now the same thing can be executed in our day-to-day life to come up with the inventions and innovations. So first, to have any innovation, we need to have creativity. Once we have a creativity, then we can go with the invention. What is an invention? Creation of a new idea or a concept. So what is that new idea or a concept is? Now in the same thing, as an artist, you are creating this. But if I talk about an invention is the same thing. If I try to have an engraving on some plate or something, thereby indicating a patriotic way symbolizing the things, that will be also an invention, right? Next, coming to the innovation, turning a new concept into a commercial success or widespread use. As I said, the same thing, if I make it into the fabricated a masterpiece of this, obviously it's when we have the patriotic days and everything, to give a mementos and everything, this can be fabricated. So that will become an innovation. Innovation has to have some commercial success for it. That is, it should have some application. It's not that you will be doing. So if your invention need not have any commercial end to it, but it's important that when we talk about innovation, it should have some commercial end for it. Okay, so this is how you have to understand the difference. Creativity is just you are trying to, whatever you are thinking, your thought process is there, you are turning into a reality. Whatever reality is there, you have to have a strategic plan and thing. That is forms your invention. Process, methodology, everything that forms your invention. The same methodology or process, if you are trying to have it, an application of it, that forms your innovation. I hope you can see these two pictures. In both the pictures, you can see that there is lot of water, right? So what is the difference between these two? You can see this is a water, this is water. Can both be utilized? Obviously, the answer is no, right? You can see this is a flood water and you can see it is all over spread. But the same water, if you are trying to build a boundaries for it and trying to reserve it, that becomes an useful material. Okay, it becomes a useful resource for us. Similar way, everyone is blessed with some intellectual creativity. With that creativity, if you are not utilizing it, that becomes equivalent to your rainwater. But whatever creativity is there, if I make it an intellectual property, okay, when I say property, when we are talking about it, it can be a tangible or intangible property. Tangible properties are like my land, the plot, buildings, everything form my tangible property. But my intellect, whatever is there, is my intangible property. So whatever I'm trying to create the creativity, with the creativity, if I'm creating something and making it as a property, like a tangible property, that becomes my IPR, intellectual property. So for that intangible property, I need to have how I should create this boundary. What is the procedure to create this boundary walls so that my water or my intellect resource should be constrained or should be preserved? Is the strategic planning you'll understand with the understanding of your IPR. Okay, so when we say intellectual property, it is the product or creation of your mind. Okay, so it is different from other properties because it's in something called as intangible. And as it is intangible, you need different laws or different ways of the protection. So with respect to it, you have your intellectual property right. As we know that our constitution provides some fundamental rights and duties. These are with respect to in general. Similarly, with respect to the intellectual, okay, or creativity of the mind, the rights that are reserved are known as your IPR or intellectual property right. And this is a body of law that has developed to protect the creative people. Why we need to protect it? Because the intellectual property is something, it is over the time of period, people try to think over some problem, come up with a solution, and that solution should be beneficial for the mankind. So this protects their invention from being copied or taken away by somebody else. So that is the reason, because somebody has given their time, their creativity and everything, they should have some returns. So that return is provided with their intellectual property right. Okay. So this intellectual property rights are the legal rights which result from the intellectual activity in the industrial, scientific, literary, and artistic fields. It's not that when we talk about an intellectual activity, it's only industrial. Because when we talk about the software industry, we say that the assets of software or the share price of
Ma'am, your voice.
it's again breaking, ma'am.
Yes,
Am I
now
clear?
it's clear. Yes, yes, you can continue.
Yeah. So when we are talking about IPR, if for in software industry, neither the asset, that is the building structure is not changed, neither the infrastructure changes. Okay. But at the same time, the share price increases. How does the share price increase? It is in the terms of your IPR that the share price increases. How that IPR is contributing in increase of share price? Because when we are having some patents or some copyrights with a particular organization or a software industry, their IPR rights, as they have increased, their share value increases. That means when we are talking about IPR, it's directly a synonym for the innovation in that particular industry. Okay, so it's not just that when we talk about IPR, it is related with industry. It can be a scientific one or a literary things, or it can be in the artistic fields also. So what are the types of IPR that are considered in India? The different IPRs are, you can have a patent IPR. Okay, what exactly is a patent and all we'll discuss in detail. Then we have a trademark. Trademark is like a logo which is used to represent the particular organization or something. It's like any industry or anything, if they want their uniqueness to be represented, they use their trademark. Whereas copyright is the thing that it gives a legal right over whatever documentations are being done. Okay, so that is known as the copyright. Then plant breeders, if you are coming with new plant varieties and everything, that will come under your plant breeders right. Next thing is your utility or model design. Okay, so based upon if you are coming up with any changes, okay, in the particular design with respect to the aesthetics or for the pleasiness, then it comes under your model or design. Next, geographical indication. When we are talking about patent, trademark, copyrights, it can be an individual or institutional. But when it comes to a geographical indication of an IPR, it will be with respect to a community or with respect to a region. The examples of the geographical indications are like your Nagpur orange, Kanchipuram silk. So you can see that whatever product is there, based on the uniqueness of that particular region or that particular community, you have the geographical indications. Then you have next thing is the trade secrets. There are certain things which should be protected, but at the same time you don't want it to be made public, but it should be protected. That is done with the trade secrets. Whereas if we talk about patents, copyrights and everything, once you publish them, that will come under the domain of the public. So that's the reason it is a known fact. But trade secrets are protected, but they are not known to the general public. So these are the various IPRs that are available in India. Okay, as we have already discussed, the methods of protecting IPR can be with the patents, copyright, trademarks, the industrial design. Okay, when it comes to the circuits and everything, the layout design of this integrated circuits is a different aspect. Okay, so that's the reason you have a separate body that protects the integrated circuits or the layout design of particular integrated circuits. Then geographical indications. So these are considered to be the 7 rays of IP or intellectual property. So for the IP, what happens is you have your ideas, creativity and innovations. With that one, when they pass through the prism, they come up with this 7 rays of patents, trademarks, copyrights, designs, okay, then IC layout, geographical indications and plant varieties. These are visible to the general public. But when we talk about the trade secrets, they are still hidden. That's the reason it is being indicated in the black. They are still under cover. Okay, they are not revealed or they are not known to the general public, but only the person who owns it will only know about the trade secrets. Now, when it comes to the business point of view or for the startups, which IPRs will be worthy from the economic point of view or from the profit point of view? You have your trademarks, designs, and patents. So these are the ones which will be helpful for earning the economy for the business. Because for any business, you need to have a logo. So that will be your trademark. You may come up with any changes in the design. Okay, that can be easily going for the design. Then patents. Okay, coming to the IP evolution. This, when we are talking about the flow of IP evolution, will be in terms of the intellect, what property, that is what type of consideration you have to consider the property, then accordingly which IP right you will be getting. If I have an idea, the intellect that I'm considering is an idea. The properties, if you have an idea, I am giving an expression to it, that becomes a copyright. Okay, whereas if I have an idea, I'm going with the innovation, that invention of it, then the right that I will be able to get is the patent. But if I have an idea, I have a quality, because when we are talking about a trademark, you are creating an identity. When is an identity created? When you have some ISO standard. Okay, so that means when we will be able to get an ISO or some standardization? When you have a quality. So quality plus identity, if they are met, then only I'll be able to get the trademark right. If there's an idea, I'm going with the aesthetics or appearance or from changes in the particular design, then that will give me the design right. Whereas if I'm trying to keep the information confidential without any disclosure, that will lead to the trade secrets. Okay. Coming to the different acts governing the IP assets, I have a trademark. Trademark is being covered by the Trademarks Act 1999. Patents Act was developed in 1970. Now there has been transformation or reforms that have occurred, and we have latest rights being defined. The Patent Act 2005 is being followed right now. Copyrights was Copyright Act of 1957. Designs are by the Design Act of 2000. Then we have Geographical Indications Act of 1999. Plant Varieties Act has come to protect the farmers in 2001. Whereas Semiconductor IC Layout Act has come into picture from 2000. Okay, so coming to the intellectual property, when we say intellectual property, you may have one product, but you may have many rights. This is something like if you talk about a cooker, everybody observes the cooker in everybody's kitchen. Whether you go or you don't go, you will be observing it, right? So the constructional features will be forming my patent right. Whereas the aesthetics, the way you lock, the way you try to keep the lid and everything, that forms my design. Okay, design right, IPR. Whereas the logo, that how you are trying to present the logos, names and logos will form my trademarks. And with respect to if I come up with any product, they provide me a catalog or a booklet that forms my copyright. I think somebody's have not mute themselves. Can you please mute yourself?
Participants, please mute yourself.
Thank you. Similarly, you can take a cell phone. The mechanism is a patent. The shape of a cell phone will form your design. The Nokia or Motorola, whatever, Samsung, that forms my trademark. The manual will be my copyright. So that's the reason even with one product, we can go with different IPRs. Okay. And why we as academician, we have to focus on IPR? Because you know that IPR is a bridge between the academia and industry. If you have IPR, you can do a technology transfer to an industry. So if you do a technology transfer to an industry, obviously that will provide me the economy. So, but to create an IPR, you should have the intellectual property or creativity. So that will be better if you have some sound academic concepts. So that's the reason it is indicated with your goddesses Saraswati. So with respect to it, you are trying to develop the knowledge. Once I have the knowledge, that will attract me the money. So once I have a money, to do a research also you need some amount on money. So this money, whatever you earn with the IPR, that it can act as a catalyst to carry out further research. So this is how the things will be working. Okay, in case of, that's the reason we say that, though usually they say that it's uh, the academic and money, they don't go hand in hand, but the IPR is the one which provides you the platform wherein you can have the academics and money both can go together for the betterment of not only your institution, for the individuals also. Okay, coming to the patent. Patent is a prominent intellectual property right, because this is the one which has more weightage. That's the reason whenever a patent grant is obtained, it is said to be an award for the inventor and a reward for the investor. As I said, for doing some research, you have to invest money. So that is the reason the investor, whoever has done some invest in your research, will be getting a return if you get the patent awarded. Okay. So a patent is a grant that is exclusive legal right by the government to the applicant. So why we are getting? Because it is a disclosed invention, and this, it depends upon what type of patent you are having. If it is an utility patent, from the date of filing, for 20 years you'll be able to enjoy the patent right. Whereas if it is a design patent, it will be for 14 years. It is for 10 years. Plant breeders variety, it is for 14 years. And this is enforced only in the country where the patent is granted. Okay. So this patent, when we are talking about it, it's a techno-legal document that should be developed by the inventor. And this techno-legal document should satisfy novelty. It should be an inventive step, and at the same time should have some industrial applicability. So that is how the patent draft should be there. So it's not just about doing a research, but if you are doing a patent filing, that's the reason whenever a patent filing has to be done, after your research, it's better if you go in a consultation with a patent agent. Why we have to depend upon a patent agent? Because as academicians, we are good with the technical terms. But when it comes to the techno-legal document, you have to be very particular with the document, because the claims that you makes an impact. I cannot say that this machine consists of. Okay, consists of means it takes in general. If I say if I just write this machine comprise of, comprise, if I use the word, then in that case I cannot have any additions to that. So legally, comprise is a term. If I want to restrain, it's a limited boundary. Consist gives me a scope for adding up some more material to it. So that's the reason even a smaller terms make a lot of impact. So that's the reason whenever document you are making the patent document, you have to be very careful about that. Okay. So with the patent system, what you're getting is the patent protection will be given to the inventor. At the same time, the public, whoever is utilizing, they'll be able to know the disclosure of the patent. Okay. What is the procedure to obtain an Indian patent is? First, you can go with the filing of an application. So when we talk about filing of an application, it can be a provisional specification. Once provisional specification means I'm getting some idea or something in the concept. Okay, it's important you go with the filing. Why this should be done? Because when we are talking about a patent, the patent search, that is known as the prior art search. The prior art search will be done throughout the globe. Across the globe, nobody should have come up with that some ideology or that innovative concept that you have developed. So that's the reason whenever you're starting with any concept, it's important that you have to write down the date when you got that particular idea. It's always advisable that you maintain a book of your, or a ledger or a record of the information as and when you are developing your concept. Okay, so with respect to it, whatever drawings are there should be written, and if possible the pictures of it. Okay, and with the geotag pictures will be much more better. Why all this is important is, whenever we file an application, In case in the later process, you may come up with an opposition. In that case, you can say that this is an idea or a concept that has come to you earlier. So whatever documentation record you are maintaining, till it is not published, please do not reveal to anyone your idea or concept. So during that process, it's better you file along with the information. You should have some witness. You can take that witness signature from a known person. Excuse me. So this concept development, okay, everything, recording, prior art search, you can do it with the free databases are there and paid database are also there. So for the free database, you can use your Google database, or you can go for the IP online, Indian patent office online, you can use in that search, or you have a WIPO search. Okay, so use these databases to search for that, whether whatever idea or concept you are having, is it existing earlier or not. Once you feel that it is a new novel idea, go for a provisional specification. After that provisional specification, you'll have 12 months to file that complete specification. Okay, so within 12 months, you have to go with the complete filing specification. Once you file it, that will be examined by the patent office. Once it is all the norms are met, then it will be published in the Gazette of India journal. Every Friday, the journal will be releasing the patents that have been published. After that, the next stage will be your first examination report. Okay, then you will be filing the replies for it. If there are any opposition, you have to answer for it. Once, if there's no opposition, if there are no objections, you will be getting the patent granted. Okay, this is a general overview. Coming to the detailed overview, as you can see in the flow chart, you are coming with the idea or a concept. You start with the prior art search. Okay, so with the prior art search, you will be using patent search, okay, non-patent document search, or a product search. Now this can be a published or unpublished data. In both the things, you have to carry out your search. Once you carry out your search, if there is a novelty, you go with the next step. If there's no novelty, then formulate your idea and concept. Once again, you have to carry out your prior art search. If there's a excuse me, if there's a novelty, then go with the drafting of the patent. This patent drafting specification can be provisional or non-provisional. Provisional application filing should only consist of title, field of invention, what is the background of invention, brief description of figures. Whereas non-provisional, that means complete application filing if you are doing. Either you can do it prior provisional application filing, then go with non-provisional or complete. If you have already completed your invention, then you can go with the complete application filing, which should have the following details, like title of the invention, field of invention, then background of the invention, what is the summary of the invention, what are the objectives that you want to meet, then brief description of the figures, then detailed description of the invention, what are the claims that you want to make, and the abstract. All this will form my complete application. Once that is done, then you confirm the ownership. So you will be going with the filing of patent application along with the fees and norms. What are the forms that you need to fill up are Form 1 for the application for the grant of the patent. Form 2 is for the non-provisional or provisional application. Form 3, undertaking for an application. If you want to not just file in India, but across some other countries also, if you want to file, in that case, you will be filing Form 3. Form 5 is for the declaration to inventorship, whereas Form 9 is request for publication. Form 9 for request for publication, this you will be doing if you want to go for early publication. What do you mean by this early publication is, now when you talk about after you file the application, the examination of the document and everything, publishing of the document, it may take a time. Instead of that, if you want it to be published within 4 weeks of your filing, then you can go for the early publication. So that request for publication, you have to fill up your Form 9. But if you have done the complete application filing and at the same time with the early publication, you can also file for request for examination Form 18. That means once it is being filed, at the same time you want to examine that throughout globe or where this type of invention has been carried out. So that is for request for examination. Or a request of examination can be raised by not just the inventor but some other opposition parties also, saying that this invention is theirs. Excuse me. So in that case, you can go with the request for examination. This will cut down the time period for the patent publication. Once the examination is done, you can go with the expedited examination Form 18. Then Form 26, as I said, as it is a techno-legal document, you want it to be drafted by somebody else, then you have to authorize that patent agent or attorney. So that is your Form 26. So these are the various forms that should go with the patent application. Okay, and it's good that either being an individual or for the institution, now the fees are same. That is, just for the publication, the fees is 1,500. Now, if I want to go with an early publication plus 2,500, that means with 4,000, I can go with the early publication. Okay. Then after this is done, then the processing will be done in the patent office. If there are no objections, nothing, patent will be granted. If there is opposition and there is no relevance, or they find that there is no application of it, or there is no novelty in it, the patent will not be granted. Once the patent is granted, from the 3rd year onwards, a maintenance fee has also should be paid for the granted patent. Okay, that is termed as the annuity fee. So every year the annuity fee has to be filed for the patent that has been granted. At the same time, you should also file a form saying that whether your patent is being utilized, whether it is in working condition or not. All these details have to be filed. Okay, these are the various forms and what are the various things in it in detail has been presented. Any queries so far? I'm just dealing with the process of the patent before going ahead with the startup. Okay, so coming to the time periods. So for provisional filing to complete specifications, this is 12 months. If it is published 6 months after your complete specification, this takes 18 months. Then you can file the request for examination after the publication within 3 years. Okay, within 3 years you can file the specifications, right? So after the filing is done, okay, this time period of 48 months can be cut down to 4 weeks if we file simultaneously Form 9, Form 18 together. And if you have completed your invention then with the complete specification, if we are doing, this 48 months can be reduced. That is early publication and FER filing. If it is done, this will be reduced to 4 weeks. That is almost just 1 month. So after you do your FER filing, it takes 6 months. So after the issuance of FER report, 3 months will be the time period to get it response from the controller. So based upon the response that is submitted, you may have to go with the second response FER filing. There may be a hearing, it may be refused, or patent may not be granted. Once the hearing is done and whatever you are saying is if it looks justified by the controller, then he'll be going ahead and granting the patent. So this is the complete procedure for the patent grant. Okay. So why we need this patent grant? And this is important even when we want to have a startup. What exactly is a startup? A startup is nothing but an entity that is registered in India not prior to 5 years. And its annual turnover should not exceed 25 crore rupees. Okay, in the preceding financial years, and it should be working towards innovation, development, or commercialization of new products. And as we are focusing, as our Prime Minister has said, we want to be a Make in India. So for the Make in India, that's the reason the startups are being encouraged a lot. Okay. Okay. Or any other form of intellectual property should be deemed to be a startup. So coming to the startup kit, why we need to have this startup is you have to have whatever creativity is there. First thing is why I'm using the terminology kit is it's your brainchild. So that's the reason, trust your mind. Okay, whatever creativity you're getting, have faith on that. Okay, check it out, what is its market opportunity. So you need to carry out your survey. So that's the reason I'm indicating with the eyes. Just a moment. Okay. Next, seeking the market opportunity, you should keep thinking about what are the different ideas that are possible. Okay. Then how do I get the different ideas? Whatever ideas are there, take a feedback of it. Okay. You should take the feedback from the experts or the persons who are in that field. Take a feedback from them and check it out how successful your whatever innovative idea could be. So you need to check that. Okay, that's the reason I'm saying smell your success. And next thing is, once you know that this idea, whatever is there, can be successful, you protect your idea. How do I protect your idea? Just now we have discussed in detail about it, that I can protect my idea through a patent. Okay, or it can be through an IPR. The different IPRs can be executed. Once you have protected it, it's time to project your achievements and spread the word of mouth is the best thing. Okay, because you are a startup, it's better you use your the social media rather than going with a other means of spreading the word. And you should whatever, because it's a startup, it's not at hierarchical level you'll have the hierarchy, but it will be a horizontal level of structure that should be followed in a startup. So that's the reason you should have feel for your employees. And at the same time, when you want somebody else to work under you, you should have the approach. hands-on approach of whatever technique or whatever innovation you are carrying out. And at the same time, when you feel that whatever you're doing is right, fight for the opposition. And at the same time, it doesn't mean you have to be stubborn. You have to be able to identify what is the risk in the business. And next stage is assess the value of your ideas. And based on that, you have to go for the investor. And that doesn't mean that as the investor will be investing money, will be taking the 100% return, right? There should be a proper policy document should be made up wherein the investor and the inventor both will be negotiating and will be getting the profit share. When you are talking about the risk factor, you should be able to assess what is the amount of risk. If it is little risk, you can take it. If it is something much bigger one, go with the investors. If you think that it is very high risk factor, don't take any time lapse, but jump out of it and have hands-on approach and have the feet on the ground. Always understand what are the ground realities whenever you are going with any startup. Okay. So for the startup, what is required? You should have an innovation idea to market. Innovation comes out of great human ingenuity and personal passion. It is a product of your intellectual mind. Innovation is only possible with your inspiration, perspiration, and perseverance. So whatever idea is there, it is your vision, imagination. Then once I have the feasibility and creativity, I'll go with the invention. Based upon the viability and entrepreneurship, that is my innovation. And based upon the innovation, based upon the desirability and leadership, I'll have my business. So this is nothing but my idea to market typical flow. So for this one, I need to understand what is the product, what is the process, and what is the organization, and what should be my marketing strategy. Coming to the startups, when we are talking, they should have an innovation value chain. Okay, there should be an applied creativity. To this applied creativity, there should be discovery, invention, and innovation. How is the market value added? It is through the market analysis, then qualitative research, surveys, technical reports. You have to carry out the testing. This beta testing is something like automobiles. They have an auto expo. So with that one, they do the beta testing. Thereby, they'll go with the market launch. And with the market launch, they'll be able to assess who are the satisfied customers. And based on that, what are the backlogs or what are the hindrances should be identified. Okay, so this is how you will add up the market value. Coming to the management value, you should have there should be a structure. As I said, for startups, you need to understand there should be a chief technologist, president, marketing vice president, okay, then controller, manufacturing vice president, sales, financial officer, human resource management. So these are the things which should be present. Okay, this should be the things which you need to consider when you are talking about in a startup industry. How should be the management? Coming to the technology value, you should have a concept. Based on the concept, the feasibility, you can go with the prototype building. And whatever prototype is there, once I have the complete product, I have to go with the patent application. Then produce the product, go for a complete specification. In the process of patent application, you can get the manufacturing prototype and get the approvals done, and thereby you can introduce your product. So these are the things which should be strategically planned for any startup. Now, what is the future? Startups or organizations? because when we are talking about right now we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Fourth industrial revolution is nothing but the use of the big data and your AI. Whereas now when it comes to the fifth industrial revolution, which is like innovate or die. So we'll not have something like organizations, but we'll be more looking forward for the startups. So for this startups also, the future organizations or the startups, what are the 14 principles that have to be followed are, it should be globally distributed with smaller teams. Okay. And globally distributed because every corner of the globe, the requirements are different. So accordingly, based on that, you should come up with the innovative ideas. So whatever future organizations are there, they should have a connected workforce. So that is the reason you have an uh, not just internet, intranet between the organization. Intrapreneur, that is, it's not enter within the enterprise, but across the globe, the different officers should be connected. And each office should operate like a small company. And the focus should be not what focus on want should be there instead of need, because people have shifted over from need to wants. Okay. Adapt to the changes faster, innovate as and when required, and everything, all this information should be run in a cloud database. And one more thing is, the future is for women. More women in senior management roles will be the seen, because there becomes, when it comes to all these things, the thing is you should have multitasking, and it's a God's gift that women are best with respect to multitasking. And as I said, it cannot be a hierarchical structure for a startups. It has to be a flatter structure. And you should tell stories. That means you should be whatever success stories are there. Until unless you don't propagate it, you will not get the market share. Okay. And democratize the learning process. That is, every day is a new learning lesson. And shift from profit to prosperity, and adapt to the future employees and managers. So that means the future of organizations are more adventurous, and the entrepreneurs should have a thinking concept and culture, and should be executing new strategies. So you should be a fast moving, risk taking, rapid fire innovations. These are the things that the new startups or the new organizations have to look forward for. Okay. So when we are talking about what is the importance of IPR for the startups is, it gives you a competitive advantage in the marketplace. It provides you this exclusive rights for a specific period, and improves the valuation of your business. And at the same time, as I said, when you want to with your ideology, you will be preparing only a prototype. But when it comes to market, you need to produce them in bulk, so you need some investors. So if you have an IP, that will attract the investors to make an investment and protect the investors interest, because that directly says that, okay, if you invest, you will get a return at a certain time period. And it's a defensive mechanism against infringement claims. It also provides new revenue streams through licensing, franchising, and sales. If you're not able to go for its production, then you can license your ideology. Okay. IP is a must for exporting the products to any developed economies, and it increases the negotiating power through cross license or joint venture agreements. That is the importance of IP for startups. So you can see that when we say patent, it need not be by an intellect. It can be by a kid also. You can see that recently even a 6-year child has developed a wheelchair. Okay. So similarly, a chessboard that was developed by a 9-year-old. Okay. Circular chessboard. So these are the things, innovativeness. This is something which can be marketed easily. Coming to the Startup India, as per the stats, by December 2020, we have around 41,000 startups that are recognized by the department, and there are 4.7 lakhs jobs that have been created by this 39,000 plus startups. And you can see the investments have ranged to 4,500 crores. And the startups are spread across the India with 590 plus startups in districts. And the 44% of the recognized startups have at least one woman director. And this is a startup policy that is executed across 30 states and union territories. Okay. What are the sectors in which you can have the startups? The IT services, healthcare and life sciences, education, professional and commercial services, food and beverages, agriculture, finance technology, technology hardware, okay, construction and green technology. For any institution or for the students, I think agriculture and the green technology are the booming areas. At the same time, the educational sector is another area wherein the startups are there. That's the reason you can see nowadays the pandemic has paved the way to many educational startups also. That's the reason before it was only Byju's, but now you can see White Hat Junior. There are many other educational startups that have started up wherein the students are utilizing the online services. So there is a lot of scope and opportunities for everyone. It is us how we try to explore the things. So now when we talk about the supporting the business throughout, okay, 22% of it is the ideation stage. 29% will be the validation stage. Okay, 37% is the traction. And then 12% is how do you increase it. Okay, so this startups intellectual property protection is another scheme that has been launched by the government of India, which facilitates startups to file applications for patents, design, trademarks through registered facilitators in appropriated IP offices by paying only the statutory fee. Okay, what are the benefits of SIP is that is startup intellectual properties are the primary objective is to promote awareness and the adoption of IPRs among startups. And this scheme is exclusively designed to nurture the emerging technologies. And when it comes to the startups, it's not just only the institution can go ahead with it. And the startup can be a group of students with the faculty as an advisor can go with the startup. And this startup can be encouraged by the institution also. So this startup benefit will be there in your NAC, NBA and NRF ranking for that particular institution. So startups doesn't mean it's you are creating an entrepreneurial ideology among your students, but it also helps the faculty, being the faculty advisors, they'll also get some share. Okay, and it helps in driving the maximum benefit out of it. So that's the reason the startups should be a benefit not only for the students, faculty, but the institution. It is something which is planned for the economy, Indian economy as such. How to avail the benefits of it? Okay, you need to have two requisites. The primary requisite is you should have the entity that seeks to avail the scheme should be registered as a startup with the startup certification board. Because once you have a startup certification board, even the patent grant, which is of a time period of 2 to 3 years, will be come down to 6 months. So it's important that you have a startup certification board. Next, there should be a startup should enlist the help of a facilitator. Now, what is this facilitator? Who is it? It is nothing but the person who will help in the assistance of startups, and the government of India has appointed this facilitators. So these facilitators are empaneled by the controller of patent, trademark and design. And these are the ones which are permitted by the government to assist startups in protecting their intellectual property. Okay. What does the facilitator do? He provides the general advice in different IPRs to startups. They provide the information with regard to the protection and promotion of IPRs in other countries too. They also provide assistance in filing and disposing of the IP application, and they also help in drafting the complete or provisional applications. Okay, and by preparing this, they ensure that the final disposal of IPR application will be done under the supervision of a facilitator. Okay. Now, when we are using a facilitator, and as this is a startup under the government scheme, does it have any right? No. The rights are vested only with the owner or the group of people who have come up with the ownership. So it's only the government is giving you the benefit of laying the scheme. Okay. Where can one find a facilitator? You can go to the website of ipindia.nic.in, wherein the facilitators list is empaneled. Okay. So the action plan that is being incorporated by our Honorable Prime Minister for the Make in India is simplification and handholding, then industry academia partnership and incubation. That's the reason we all nowadays under Atal scheme, we have so many incubation centers being set up throughout the country, and these are the ones which will be also getting the funding support and incentives. So simplification and handholding is compliance regime based upon the self-certification. Then you should have a Startup India hub, rolling out the mobile application. All these are the different activities that you are doing. That's the reason the Atal Innovation Mission was started, so that you can have a self-employment and talent utilization program. Though at the same time you want to harness the private sector expertise for the incubator setup and building innovation centers across the national institutes. That's the reason the IITs are given more funding also. New research parks were modeled at the research park set up as per the research park that was set up at IIT Madras. So thereby promoting the biotechnology, okay, and launching of new programs for the students. And at the every year you'll also have an annual incubator grant challenge also. So what is the funding and support and incentives is, you get the corpus fund, you get a credit guarantee fund for startups, tax exemption is there on the capital gains, and there is a tax exemption on the investments above fair market value, and there is tax exemption to startups for 3 years. So that is the advantage if you are going with a startup movement. Okay. So how do you carry out your startup? The entity creates an account on Startup India website. The entity should then apply for the department for the recognition. Then after that, the application gets reviews, and a certificate of recognition will be issued, because it's an online application process. Within 2 to 3 days, you'll get working days, you'll get the certificate. Okay. So for getting this recognition, what are the details which I need to follow for the startup? We should have the incorporation of the number of the people who will be there, date of registration, PAN number, name of the registered entity, no proof of the concept, the website link, video, anything should be there. Then the brief about the entity with the details on the problem solved, the solution provided, uniqueness and revenue. Then incorporation of registration certificate, the director's details, okay, like patent details, stage, number of employees, all these details have to be filled in that online application. Once all these details are filled up, within 2 to 3 days, you will get the certification as a startup. Okay. So as I said, the benefit is you get 80% rebate compared to the normal industrial filing. Okay. And 50% rebate is also provided for filing of trademarks. And as I said, the time of expedition of a patent as a startup is reduced drastically if you are going with a startup. Okay. What is the national IPR policy for the startups is you have to have a awareness being created. That's the reason even the government is encouraging for the incubation cell to create this awareness programs. You should have an outreach and promotion. At the same time, generation of IPRs and have a strong legal and legislative framework, administration and management of IPR, commercialization of your IPR, enforcement and adjustment, then human capital development. All these are the objectives of the IPR policies. The key incentives is Indian inventors, MSMEs, and startups to acquire and commercialize IPRs in other countries also. If you are starting with your IPR here, you can go with the commercialization in other countries also. That incentive is being provided by the government. Examine availability of standard essential patents on fair and reasonable and non-discriminatory terms. And IPR generation for ICT technologies, those relating to cyber security, are also encouraged. And it provides special incentives for creation of IPRs in green technologies. That's the reason I said that there's a hey, you can explore in case of green technologies, education and agriculture, and manufacturing in the green energy sector, green technologies, green energy. That's the reason, because as per the government is targeting to shift from brown power to green power. What do you mean by brown power to green power? Means shift over from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources. Okay. And it provides the guidance to researchers and innovators about what are the national priority areas. That's the reason they come now for the academics and everything also, they'll be coming up with the new national research policy. And as per that, the UGC will also be framing the STRIDE rules, STRIDE, okay, wherein you will be focusing about the interdisciplinary interdisciplinary projects will be encouraged, and thereby the focus will be on specific sectors like biotechnology, data analytics, nanotechnologies, new materials, and ICTs. And it promotes the use of free and open source softwares. At the same time, should have the standards being maintained. It provides the seed funding for marketing activities. Okay. And utilizing the technology acquisition and development fund will be provided. It creates a mechanism to help MSME and research institution to validate pilots and scale up through market testing. Small technology firms will be supported in safeguarding their IP rights. For instance, support for IPR in ICT focus areas will be provided through easy to use portals. Okay. And assistance to smaller. Okay. The main highlights are it progressively introduces IP teaching. That's the reason the incubation cells are there, wherein they're trying to incorporate what exactly is IP all about. Okay, so that you'll be having the centers of skill development, facilitate industry association, inventors, creators, okay, support institutions to raise awareness about IP issues for teaching, training, and skill building, develop distance learning and online courses for the various categories of users, strengthen IP teaching in open universities and centers of skill development. That's the reason in NPTEL also you'll find the various courses of IP. The key highlights are there are different modules that are being utilized by the various institutes. And also not only in the legal and technical medical, but some educational institution, NIFTs, Ayush educational institutes, agricultural universities, everywhere IPR is will become an integral part. Okay, thank you all. I think this is a complete detail about what exactly is IPR all about, how to go with this, what is a startup, how to go about with a startup, and what are the key benefits if you are going with a scheme, SIPP scheme of our government of India provided, so that you will be able to understand what are the various benefits of it. If there are any queries, you can just ask them. Thank you all for your patience hearing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a profound session and definitely will help us all in our future. Now let us go forward for Q&A session. I will request participants to unmute themselves to clear their doubts or post their doubts in the comment box.
Bhaskar,
Yes, ma'am.
do not forget to take 2 snapshots.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Any more queries?
Ma'am, we have one query.
Okay.
I'll read it out for you. Hello.
Yeah, I could read that. If someone comes with an idea, what if already exists while doing research on it, right? By Sai Kumar. So if you have an idea which is already existing, what you can do is redraft your idea so that it will be a unique one. Because if it is already existing, in that case you will not get the patent draft, okay, granted. So that's the reason you need to rework on that, come up with some novelty in it. Okay, if you want to go for an utility patent, whereas if you are going for any changes in the design, you can easily go for it. Okay, that will help you with the design patent easily granted, because design patent grant time period is 1 year, 6 months to 1 year, whereas an utility patent will take you from 2 to 4 years. But if something is existing, you cannot go for doing that same research.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bhaskar?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yeah, now I request everyone to turn on their camera for virtual photo session. Thank you so much. Now I request Ms. Monali Patil to propose the vote of thanks.
Sorry, I request Dr. Kalyani ma'am to propose.
बहुधा फोटो काढतोय त्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला फोनची निवड.
Thank you. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good afternoon to one and all. I, Dr. B.S. Kalyani, happy to take this opportunity to show gratitude towards all people involved in this program. First of all, I am thankful to MOE's Innovation Council Cell and AICT for promoting and funding us to organize this program. I am thankful to our management for giving continuous support. I am thankful to our principal, Dr. D.S. Gormane sir, for always encouraging and supporting us. I am thankful to our resource person of this session, Dr. Ishrat Meera Mirza ma'am, for delivering such a nice and wonderful session on role of IPR in startup. She explained very well the role of IPR in the startup, and it will much helpful to us to develop the startup. Now, again, I am thankful to our organizing team of staff, Dr. M.H. Dhain ma'am, Dr. Vidya Patil ma'am, for their continuous effort. Also, I am thankful to our student organizing team, Pratik Lahankar, Monali Patil, Dhairya Patel, Bhaskar Soman, Yash Jain, for their continuous effort to make this program successful. I am thankful to all participants for their patience listening, and thank you one and all. Feedback link will be provided in chat box within few minutes, and this session is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. I thank the management and especially Dean ma'am for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this event. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bhaskar, download the participant list, attendance sheet.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm done.
That you Thank you all participants. Now we can end the meeting. Before ending this meeting, download the video also. Share that.